Hello. It's been a while, and I'm about to explain why, but I hope you're well. Italy, come here. Italy. Come here. Italy. No. There's the cat. We have our cat here. Yay! Italy arrived about, I guess, a week ago? A little less than a week ago. And so we were really, really excited and happy to have her with us finally. We had to wait about an extra month because of embargoes that were placed on animal flights or cargo flights. So yeah, she's here, which is great. So a lot to share with you guys, and I'm not really quite sure where to start, but you just saw me come back. I've been out this morning. I took you on the adventure that is coming home from the chiropractor. And then I went to a store called Jeffrey, which I totally forgot to film inside, but I'll do that another time. But the last, I guess, what has it been? Let's see, we arrived at the end of July. So there's August, so the last month and a half have been, but not hard. It helped that Brandon was here before us and he was able to set things up and teach us. But I have actually been dealing with some health issues that started in quarantine in Dallas when we were quarantining there. And yeah, that's really basically taken up most of my time and headspace. And so as much as I am enjoying being here, I'm so thankful that I'm here, especially for insurance reasons. Like I can actually go to the doctor. It's also been really hard. So when we were in Dallas, I kind of jumped into the pool, not really anything I wouldn't do normally. But when I came up out of the water, my arms were completely numb. And yes, that is scary. So I was kind of freaking out. It basically went away except for my fingertips. And so I wasn't too concerned, but then after we got to our quarantine hotel in China, I had lifted a bunch of heavy things, suitcases, and it just kept getting worse and was moving up my hands and into my arms. I was like, I just need to go to the chiropractor, I need to get this fixed. And so as soon as I got out of quarantine, we set up an appointment and I started seeing the chiropractor that Brandon had been going to. And they basically said they believed it was either a disc that was bulging or, just a nerve that was pinched somewhere. And so I went 6 times and nothing changed. And so they scheduled an MRI. And the MRI confirmed that I do have like 3 bulging discs. Yeah, it really sucked because one of them is literally pushing on my spine. So because of that, I guess I ended up going to a specialist who said he just wanted to remove my disc. And I'm like, yeah, no, thanks for that, but no, I'm not gonna do that. The doctor said basically like it wasn't that bad of a bulge, or herniated disc. It's just that I don't have a lot of room in my spinal column. And so even just a little bit of protrusion out of the, out of where it should be, it caused it to push on my spinal cord, hence causing the numbness. And it's one thing to say like, oh yeah, I'm just a little numb. No, this is like, I can't do things. Like I can't really write, I can't really type, I can't really edit. So I'm not really sure how this editing is gonna go for this video. I'm gonna try really hard to do it and not just curse my hands. So we'll see. So the next step is to talk to some doctors about steroid shots. It was kind of not something I wanted to look into, but honestly, it's going to be the least invasive and hopefully the best option to shrink down the disc so that I no longer have numbness, because it takes up most of my mental space. It's just hard. Other than that, we're doing really good. As you can see from the video, we have conquered the metro and it's really fun. I really, really enjoy it, being able to just walk down and get on a train and go where I need to go. So a few other things that have happened in the last month and a half. Berkeley turned 13. So I now officially have 2 teenagers, which is so weird. I actually turned 41, so there's that. We've done some exploring in Shanghai, but honestly, I've tried to record some and I do have video of some of the places we've been, but really I need to get well first and then I can really focus on the YouTube channel and sharing our adventures. I'm gonna try and do that even as I'm healing, and this is the start of that. I feel like I finally have enough energy to also tackle it. If you've ever moved to a foreign country, you understand the complete an utter drain of energy that it is to move somewhere else. Different culture, just everything. You walk out your front door and it is literally just an adventure. Every moment is new and different. It's exciting, but it also really wears you out. So I feel like I'm finally starting to be able to process those new sights and sounds and smells and not be completely drained by the time I get home. So like today, I was able to go and come back and actually shoot this video, which before, would not have happened. I would have wanted to take a nap, and I probably did take a nap, honestly. So the kids are enjoying school. Brandon's enjoying work. We're just trying to get the house like kind of, in order and make it cozy. I think we're getting there. I'll definitely do a house tour at some point. There's a few more things that we need to do, and I'd like to get those done before I show you guys our house. So I hope you're all doing really well. Thank you so much for following along on our journey and, sticking around even when I'm not publishing videos as frequently as I would like to. But yeah, if you haven't already, please subscribe so you don't miss any videos that come out when they do. And thank you again. Bye.